is Jo Byrne and I'm a PhD student in the History department at Hull, and my project uses oral history as its main source of information. My research is looking at what happened in the Hull fishing industry after the collapse of the catching sector after 1976. I'm planning to do around 30 to 40 recorded interviews that are recorded digitally. That generates a lot of data. It's sound data primarily, but also each interview is then transcribed, which then produces a paper record. It can take anything upwards of 8 hours to transcribe 1 hour of interviewing. So not only is the interview itself very valuable to me, for example, once an interview has been done, the opportunity of going back and doing that again are very limited. An interview is never the same twice, so if you lost your recording and went back to try and do it again, you would never get the same result again. And also, oral historians are often interviewing very elderly people, or sometimes in their 90s, and again, the opportunity to re-interview might not be there. So the interviews themselves, it's very important to keep them safe, accessible, and backed up, I think. Another, like I said, the other aspect is the transcript and the paperwork that goes with that. And also I do work in the archives that runs alongside the oral history. And again, there is the opportunity to go back and look again in the archive if something goes missing, but it's very time consuming and it's lost work. So keeping everything safe and secure is one thing that's very important. Another thing is that at the end of 2 years, when I come to the actual writing up stage, I'll have an awful lot of information. So it's not just about keeping the information safe, it's keeping it accessible, so that it's not a case of rummaging through piles and piles of information. It's ordered in a way that I can easily find what I've accumulated over the last 2 years. So at the beginning of an oral history project, these are questions that are very important to me to ask myself and to ask others. How do I store this information? How do I back it up? How do I organise it? What's going to happen to it in the long run? This is something that needs to be considered right at the beginning. A lot of people have given me their time and their stories on the understanding that it will be there for posterity. I, in particular, have set my project up as a public history, not only in terms of drawing upon community stories, but also in terms of making it publicly accessible in the end. And people have participated on that understanding, on that basis. So that gives me a responsibility, not only to posterity, but also to them, that their stories will be accessible. So one of the things I need to consider right at the beginning is how to make those available for the future.